What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Greg's Reversed Fate Tactical Rifle. This is a hot topic weapon right now, just because of the changes, and it is definitely an S tier weapon. So I for sure want to go ahead and break down this weapon for you guys, show you guys a couple different builds, show you how to use it, the typical Divine style. So that's what we're going to be going over in this video. Hey, don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So without wasting time, let's just get straight into this. So the Greg's Reversed Fate Tactical Rifle. This has definitely been put on the spotlight for sure recently, just due to its changes, which rightfully so. The changes on this weapon definitely make this a top tier weapon. You can use this as a secondary, or you can use this as a main hand weapon. It is really good either way it goes. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and break down the Greg's Reversed Fate rifle, how to use it, how to build it, and all that good stuff. So in typical Divine fashion, let's go ahead and go over the unique ability and the base stats of the weapon. So here is the Greg's Reversed Fate rifle and the unique ability. So the unique ability of this weapon is called Shaping Destiny. This unique ability is not leveled up in the slightest, but I will go ahead and tell you what the important stat will be when you do level it up. So the Shaping Destiny. So on hitting an enemy, proc bombardment on the enemy location with a set chance. Inflicts burn on the enemy hit by bombardment. So the basic information of this weapon is it has negative 20% reduced hip fire accuracy and reduced aim shot accuracy by 20%. So the base weapon has reduced accuracy. Bombardment. The trigger rate is 10% at base and the damage range is 3 meters. Bombardment count 3, so you're going to drop 3 bombs from the sky on a 10% chance per bullet. And the additional damage is firearm damage 100%. That's important, and I'll explain that in just a second. Now your burn. Burn duration is 3 seconds at 1 second tick intervals, and that burn tick is only 10% firearm damage. So I'm emphasizing that for a reason. So that is the Shaping Destiny for the Greg's Reversed Fate Tactical Rifle. So now let's go over the base stats of this weapon here. So as you see, the Greg's Reversed Fate has a 15,614 damage firearm attack at base with a 342 rate of fire, 30 round magazine, and a 1.4 second reload time. Critical hit rate of this weapon is a base of 20% with a critical hit damage multiplier of 2 times. It has a 7.14% status or attribute status effect trigger rate, which is pretty decent. Also, weak point damage is a 2 times multiplier at base. Accuracy, as you can see, 77.77 with the hip fire, and ADS is 86.66. So not too bad, not too bad. Not the best, but not too bad. So when you look at these base stats of this weapon, you would obviously assume build it for crit and weak point, just like essentially you would build every other weapon. But we want to take advantage of its special ability too, being that the special ability on this weapon has burn and activates burn quite often. You want to take advantage of the burn effect as well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you this weapon with no mods on it, show you what it's looking like, and then I'm going to explain this part right here, the additional damage part right here. So we'll explain that. So let's go ahead and see this weapon with no mods on it. So we got our basic level 100 enemy slayer. I always use this person, but so let's go ahead and see. So this weapon, as you see, is hitting about 16,000 non-crits on a weak point. And what is that? I can't see. 43,000 with a crit. So here's where the important part comes from. Or the important part comes in with its unique ability. So when it says 100% of firearm damage and not firearm attack, what it means is the damage that triggers that ability is the damage that ability is gonna do. So you see we hit 16,000 on a weak point. So our bombs are gonna drop and hit 16,000. On a crit, we hit 41,000. If we trigger the ability on a crit, the bombs will drop and do the 41,000, not the 16,000. Because it's 100% of our firearm damage, not our firearm attack. So essentially, if you can hit crits all the time, your bombs will do really amazing numbers all the time, right? So obviously you want to run like a Enzo with a crit or something, or just a character that gives you crit. So like Enzo, Blair, Valby, or whoever just gives you critical hit chance. So that way you can always hit crits for each time this bomb procs. It'll do the damage. As you see, it procced and did the 42,000 damage. And this time it procced and did the 17,000 damage. So when it says additional damage is firearm damage, it's going to do the damage of that bullet, not firearm attack, which is only, as we looked at the base stats, firearm attack 15,000. So there's that information. So that's very important when you want to build this weapon out. So now let's go over, well, actually one other thing I want to go over. This is a tactical rifle. There are different types. Some of them, like this one, is a 2-round burst. Some of them are 3-round bursts. One of them is even a 5-round burst. So this one's a 2-round burst tactical rifle. So each trigger pull will be 2 bullets. There's just a little bit of information there. So let's go ahead and check out some mods. So we're gonna go over the first set, which is a good build in my personal opinion. I think it's really good, but I do think there is a better build, which I'll show you that too. So the first one we're gonna go over is a full crit. We're going for full crit and a little bit of quality of life on top of it. So let's see what we got. Rifling reinforcement and action and reaction for firearm attack, our basics. Then we also went ahead and got better insight for critical hit rate, but we also decided to go with edging shot as well for a little bit more critical hit rate. And then we went better concentration for critical hit damage. We went concentration priority for some more critical hit damage. And then this is where things get a little, you can change them up, right? You got have aiming for some weak point damage, minus accuracy, which is pretty tough just due to the simple fact that this weapon already has negative accuracy. And then we have basic weak point damage, so weak point sight. And then we went for fire conductor. The reason why we went for fire conductor was because our unique ability, when it procs, is always going to ignite the enemies on fire who are hit by it. So when they're on fire, you can just get some free damage on them, or 26% firearm attack increase because they're already on fire. So we took advantage of the unique ability to squeeze out some more damage. We also went for aim compensation just due to the simple fact that the accuracy of this weapon has been severely reduced because of concentration or have aiming and its core stats with the unique ability. So this is the build that we went with. So what does that change our stats to? So our firearm attack goes to 31,852.56. Fire rate stays the same at 342. Our 30-round magazine. Our reload time is at 1.82 seconds, which is slower because of concentration priority. And then we also have critical hit rate is a 33.8 because we have better insight and edging shot. Our firearm critical hit damage 4 times multiplier because we have better concentration priority, and we have a little bit extra from this aim compensation. And then stats effect trigger rate stays the same. Our weak point damage is 3.5 times multiplier because it has have aiming and weak point sight. So and also if you see our accuracy is pretty good now, better than base because of aim compensation. So that's this particular build. So let me go ahead and show you what this thing is looking like right now on this enemy, and then I want to show you a different build, which the other build I think would be better. So anyways, so let's go ahead and see. So we're hitting 214,000 crits when they're not on fire. So now they're on fire. Cool. 258,000 crits. And as you see, our fire damage is hitting 500 on a non-crit and a 2,000 on a crit. So not bad. So obviously, let's say you proc bombardment on crits all the time. So what's going to happen is, let's say you get a 250,000 crit and it procs the ability, and you get all 3 bombs to drop. Let's say all 3 of those bombs hit a target. That's an extra, what, 750,000 damage? just because all three bombs will proc at the damage that let's say your crit headshot procced that ability. So it's gonna hit 250,000 for each bomb on top of that one bullet you already shot. So the DPS increase is pretty freaking high if you get lucky and increase that. Now, when you level up this ability, you'll go from I believe it's 10% base to a 20% max, so you have a 20% chance. And like I said, it all depends on your RNG. If you're lucky, you'll freaking proc those bombs back to back to back to back. And if you're unlucky, you'll never proc it in a full clip. So it's all RNG at that point, but that's free extra damage. It's literally free extra damage. So now let's look at another build which I think might be better, right? So if we go over here to setting 2. Now as you see, there's some stuff that's not in the right slot, and then there's a whole slot that's empty. And that's because I built this weapon at the start with just this. But then while I was looking at it, I was like, man, I should have built it this way instead. So anyways, so let's see some of the changes that we did. So we took out edging shot, we took out weak point sight, and we took out aim compensation. So we took these 3 out. Now you might think, well, I took out weak point sight and edging shot, so now my DPS is going to be severely reduced. And then this one is just a quality of life type of deal. Well, I beg to differ. So we got our fire enhancement, which is going to give us a little bit more fire damage. And then we got fire conductor still. And then we decided to put on superheated gun barrel. Now, in a perfect world, if I was able to do both of these builds simultaneously, I would put on the fire rate mod. This fire rate mod will go in this spot right here. And the reason why we would put this fire rate mod in here is because this fire rate mod will counteract the negative fire rate you receive from superheated gun barrel, putting your fire rate back at a base amount. So you won't be losing any fire rate at all. And you'll be able to upgrade this even more. So as you see, this one, superheated gun barrel, only at where it's leveled up now, is going to give our fire attack plus 46.3%. And then we have fire enhancement, which is going to add fire attack equal to 30% of your firearm attack. And as you've seen that I have rolled on this weapon, I also have fire attack rolled on this weapon. Personally, I would say you could probably take out fire attack on here and put on status effect or attribute status effect trigger rate. You could put that on and then take out rounds per magazine and put on firearm attack. So I mean, you could definitely do that, which I would recommend doing that. Or you can leave fire attack on and then change rounds per magazine to firearm attack. So you can do that. But now let's look at the damage of this build. Obviously it isn't completed, so it won't be doing its maximum potential, but we'll get a rough idea of what it's going to look like. So as you see, 187 is our base. And then if you look at our fire crits, it's 30,000. So our fire crit is 31,000. 32,000 right here. So when they're on fire, we're getting some pretty good numbers here. A 223,000 crit when they're on fire, that is. If I can... Alright, they're on fire. 223,000 plus the fire crit, which is 32,000. So let's say you max this out, like I'm saying, you max this one out all the way up, put that fire rate mod on there, and cool. Which just to counteract that, now your overall damage with your base hits plus your fire will be really freaking good. Which, when you are triggering the ability for the Greg's Reverse Fate, it adds those damage numbers. So it's not just the raw physical damage that gets taken, it's whatever damage you hit on that bullet. So because I'm hitting, let's say on a crit when they're on fire, the 230,000 or whatever, 223,000, plus that extra 31,000, those two are going to add up, and then that bomb is going to go ahead and drop for that added damage. It's not just going to be one or the other, it'll be both. So if you do this particular setup, you should net more damage than if you just did a raw crit setup. Now, the negative side is you won't hit as much crits, obviously, because you're losing out on 6% critical hit chance. but you can easily make up for that with a character that gives you critical hit rate buffs, right? Which build is this? So let's go ahead and, just like the Blair backdraft fashion, let's go ahead and see what the damage is looking like when we fully buff. And we'll look at both of them. So you can make the decision yourself which one you want to go for. So we're getting 267,000 crits with some 35,000 fire crits. So I'll put the added numbers on the screen so you guys can see with both of them where they're at right now, what the damage numbers that they're hitting overall. Now, obviously, like I said, this build isn't completed, but we'll get some rough ideas. Let me make sure this person's not on fire. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and switch to the full crit build. And let's see what that one's looking like, what the damage on that's looking like. All right. So our crits are hitting 310,000 with 2,000 fire crits. So I'll go ahead and put the number on the screen of the total damage of this one as well, and we'll do a little slight comparison of at the end. Obviously, I don't got the mental math down track, but it should be some comparable damage at least from what I see right now. So those are the two different builds that you can do with the Greg's Reversed Fate. Me personally, I would probably say this second build will be better than this first build. If you just rock the full elemental fire build, I think you'll be able to squeeze out a lot more damage. Like I said, if you want to take this build and do this one instead, what you want to do is you want to take out, let me put that right here. You want to take out, remove this R slot, which comes in there, and put a triangle, obviously, to put your superheater gun barrel in there. You want to go ahead and put in your fire enhancement right here. So that way you get some fire per shot. And then you also want to not have this M slot here, but you want to have this little ninja star one. So that way you can increase your fire rate back to base, because superheater gun barrel will reduce your fire rate. So you put that in there, your fire rate right here, and then you have superheater gun barrel. You'll obviously have that one maxed out, and you'll be pushing out some daddy clapping numbers. So that's what I would recommend that you do. I do think that this particular build is better than the full crit one. Obviously, all you gotta do is use a character to make up for the loss of crit from this particular thing. Because look, 33.8 on this build, and this one is 27. So it's only about 6% crit that you're losing out on. So you can easily go well over that with a character who can give you crit. Like I said, go ahead and use Blair, go ahead and use Enzo, use Valby, or any other character that gives you crit, weapon crit chance. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this weapon. I mean, there's nothing else to really say about it. Yeah, I definitely recommend that you get this weapon. It's pretty good for clearing mobs. It's pretty good for bossing. It's a well-balanced weapon, I see, or in my personal opinion. Now, is it a little strong? Yes. Is it overpowered? I wouldn't say overpowered, but is it a lot better than a lot of the weapons? Yes, it is. So if you don't have the Greg's Reversed Fate, you need to go get that right now. You need to get that right now. It's really good. Build it out. If you want to know what I think the way you should build it, obviously I think you should build it this way. That you see right here. Go to full fire route with fire enhancement, fire conductor, superheater gun barrel, and fire rate up. And then obviously put your basics in there for crit chance, crit damage, and base damage. And I think you'll be set. You'll do some really nasty damage, especially, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you fight an enemy that is weak to fire, you're going to be pushing out even more damage. So yeah, that's the Greg's Reversed Fate. That's all I got for you guys. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to tack some gameplay at the end of this, so that way you guys can see the weapon in action, and you guys can make your own judgment based off of that. Either one of these two builds, you guys can screenshot it. I'll just leave it on the screen for just a second so you guys can, copy and paste. But Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would highly appreciate it if you guys liked the video. Comment, share it with your friends, share it with your mom and your grandma and your grandpa. Have them watch it and build this weapon out too. And hey, subscribe to the channel. We're about to be so close to 500 subscribers, which is awesome. And let me know in the comment section what you guys want to see. I know a couple people already let me know what they want to see, and I'll go ahead and do that when I got, obviously gotta grind it out and do all that good stuff. But let me know what you want to see in the next video or the next upcoming videos. What weapon do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see a character? Do you want to see a weapon? Do you want to see cohesion between weapon and characters? Just let me know what you guys want, and I'll go ahead and start working on that for y'all and get these videos rolling out to you. So that's enough for me. That's all I got. Enjoy some of the gameplay. If not, hey, thank you for staying this long anyways, and until next time.